Hello and welcome back to Tim and my channel. So, I know that I said that I would post something yesterday. Unfortunately, I was fighting a migraine. And if you have migraines, you understand. A migraine is where sometimes you can seem like you have allergies, but really you're not. You're sensitive to noise, light, and smell. I know Tim's eggs. I was like, ooh, but it was bad, and it always is. Sometimes I get warnings, sometimes I don't. When I do get warnings, it starts with this bottom part being blurry in my eye. We'll get to that and why that happens. Because before, when I was 15, that didn't happen. I just got really, really nauseous and sick. But so I was thinking today, and I'm like, we haven't done a full video of where you're getting to know me. Tim's stuff, I'm gonna leave alone because I don't know if he's willing to talk about his medical and health stuff and stuff, so out of respect I'm not going to talk about him, which he's asleep. He's burst out. So about me, I was born March 11th, 1986. I was actually supposed to be born on tax day, but as I told my mom, I wanted to be my dad's early birthday gift because he was born March 29th. But what happened was the cord went around my neck, so my dad and my grandmother, which I call Nana, sat here and told her to go to the hospital. When she did, she found out that the cord was around the neck, my pressure was going down, and so they said that they would have to do C-sections. So then I sat here and I did that, found out that I had tuberculosis. That's why if you notice some bumps on my face and the redness, that's what it's from. It's tuberculosis, and also I have a heart murmur. So, being a baby, when I was 2 years old, I developed seizures. I do have epilepsy. It is grandma seizures, and so my seizures are connected to my emotions. If I'm not sleeping really good, I have seizures when I'm really, really tired. And then after they figure that out, because seizures and tuberculosis and stuff, they didn't really have a lot of information at that time. So, when I was 2, my parents found out that I had 2 tumors in my brain. None of the tumors that I have are on top of the brain. It is deep inside. They're all non-cancerous, thank the Lord. But so as I was getting older and everything, Some of my medicines, when my medicine gets used to my body, I have seizures. They're called breakthrough seizures, and it will just keep on going and going, and then I get my medicine changed, and it's just a wild ride. But as I was getting older in elementary school, I developed 3 more tumors. So there's 5 right there. And then in middle school, I developed 2 more. So that's 7 altogether. And then all of a sudden in high school, I started having breakthrough seizures all of a sudden. And so we went to the hospital and found out that a astrocytoma started to develop, or I should say already developed, and so that makes 8 tumors. Slow growing. So I just remember my mom's reaction. I could tell that she was torn. And so a year later, I started having some bad migraines all of a sudden. It was bad. To the point where I'm like, I was crying because I was in so much pain. And I'm not one to really cry. So then all of a sudden I started feeling sick. So I ran to the bathroom, got sick. So, yeah, on the way to the hospital, sat here and had a trash can, got sick 2 more times. And so, at that time, I just thought it was a headache, just a very painful headache. And so the doctor asked my mom if anybody had migraines in the family. And she said, yes, my sister Beth. God rest her soul. She died before her 60th birthday. So, and that was in 2016. But anyhow, so they sat here and said, why we're asking is because Kimberly does have migraines. And they said it can be genetic. And seizure part, have no idea where that came from. No, as far as we know, nobody in our family has them. So, yeah. But we know that I got migraines because my Aunt Beth has it. And it's genetic. And then down the line when I was 25 in 2012, I had scans done 6 months ahead of time. And so they said everything looked good. Nothing was bad. And then just all of a sudden, I sat here and I got my head checked out again. And I was like, Mom, something's not right. I'm not feeling right. This eye's getting blurry. And I'm like, something's not right. And so we went to the eye doctor. He checked it out. He said there is some build up fluid in the eyes. I think that you should go see your neurologist. How we found out about Dr. Reedy was because when the day that we found out about my astrocytoma, he was the one that we saw. So finding him, I'm like, yes. He's an excellent doctor. We call him the Gunter. But he's awesome. And so, and then we found out from him after getting the scans done. He called my mom and said, the worst news ever, and that was that my astrocytoma, well, giant astrocytoma, that's what it's really called, grew, and that he thought that I should go see a neurosurgeon. So he sent me to Upper Chesapeake where we saw doctors, and they said, well, as you can see here, and I'm just like, not really being able to see where it is, because I mean, the brain's big, so I'm like, as Tim says a lot, smile or nod. And this was before me and him got together. So sat here and went and saw. They sat here and said, you see this right here, and he was like, what's happening is it's affecting her eyesight because it is blocking the fluid. So the fluid goes spine brain, and it's like a cycle, and it wasn't able to go through where it needed to. So they were like, sorry, we don't have the stuff. Sorry, it's 10:51 here, but anyhow, he said, we don't have the stuff that needs to do this. Here's some doctors. And so my mom actually did research about Dr. Ulrich, and he was actually named the #1 surgeon for 2 to 3 years. And so went, saw him. He was like, well, go and see this guy across, because he thought at the time that possibly scopic, and that's where they put like a little hole in your head and they take it out that way. But the doctor's like, well, you have 3 options: scopic, radiation, and possibly brain surgery. So my mom was like, no, she's not having radiation. And basically called him nuts. But so he was like, he was getting ready to leave, and he actually said at that point brain surgery would be the best option. So we went, saw Dr. Ulrich, and stuff, and so Actually, before that, the doctor sat here and sent it to somebody else after giving us the option. Um, and so it went to John Hopkins. Some of his associates sat here and looked at it, came back, and then, of course, we went back, and he said, yes, brain surgery and everything. He just wanted a second opinion, which I respect that. And so we went to Dr. Ulrich, went over everything, and then we sat here and um, sorry about that. And so it got to the point where he just sat down. He brought this like skeleton head with a brain in it, and so he showed us what he would do and everything. And so a week or two later, I got scheduled for brain surgery, and that's what this scar is. It went. So, actually, that was the first time that I went under for it. Unfortunately, they had to close me back up because my brain was too swollen from the fluid being blocked. So, they gave me steroids so that I could sit here and take them to make the brain swelling go down. So, sorry, it's 10:55 here. So sat here and scheduled it. It was in April of 2012, and so sat here and got it done again, and they could only remove 95% of the tumor. So, the reasoning why that's all that they could remove was because the other 5% was too close to good tissue, and they don't want to touch that. The bad part is actually the tumor is near my speech, so that's kind of scary. One slip and could cut where how I speak, and I would have to learn everything again. But good thing that didn't happen. Like I said, my mom did research and sat here and got the factor that he was #1 surgeon. And so he brought out what the astrocytoma was. And my mom's like, it looked like gooey. And stuff. And I mean, it was a grape size. Like, that big. So, it closed me up. I went into recovery, and everything. Half the time, I was on pain medicine, which made me sleep. So, yeah. They didn't use stitches. They actually used staples. And so, like, they had a tube right here, and it was coming out of my brain, so then I could have the fluid drain out and everything. I was put on a soft diet, which is why I did the steam things that are healthy since they're steam. And so I ate that. I got down to 199. But anyhow, so it's been good. A year later, I had my gallbladder removed, um, and everything. And so, um, still feel that pain, but it's because I take heartburn medicine now, and my other medicines can cause that. And unfortunately, I learned that even though the gallbladder is removed, the part where the gallbladder was attached can actually get clogged up, and so you can still have gallbladder attack, if that made sense. So, um, sat here, and that's good too, um, and everything. I told my mom actually tonight, I was like, you know what I'm scared of? And she's like, what? And I said, what's gonna happen if when I turn 35, am I going to have to go under again? Um, and stuff. It's just really scary having something that can kill me, which is seizures, because oxygen gets cut off from your brain. That's why people get tired. They have pounding headaches afterwards. And it usually takes me a couple of days to get back to normal. And then the tuberculosis, that's why my tumors develop. That's also why I have seizures. Actually, tumors can grow in my eyes, basically anywhere in the body. And then also, it can have cysts in my system, which actually I have cysts in both of my kidneys. It's not fun. And everything. I do have a learning disability. So when I was in school, I had to work harder and everything. My reading level has gone up. I'm literally at 8th grade reading level. When I was in 4th grade, I couldn't read at all. It was bad. And so I went to a place called Sylvan Learn Center. And that helped. And so I sat here, and because I wasn't reading after, my parents pulled me out of that program. And I've been actually reading. I mean, I have read all 3 of the Twilight books. I am on the 4th one. I need to reread that because I don't remember a lot of it. It's been such a long time. And so, yeah. I like being able to tell you guys about this stuff because I know the fact that I'm not the only one, and I know how it feels sitting here being like, why me? Why me? Why me? And just feeling alone sometimes. So I'm doing this video one, so then you can learn a lot more about me, but also the factor of some people out there that think that they're by themselves. You're not. Another thing that I developed was depression and anxiety, and that comes from my sister's accident. Anxiety can be like your heart beating fast or your heart feeling like it's beating fast. And sometimes it can get as bad as you think that you're having a heart attack, but you're really having an anxiety attack, which then turns into a panic attack. So, with depression, and I mean it's clinical depression, where it just gets to the point sometimes I want to be by myself, I don't want to come out, I don't want to eat. I get dark thoughts, and everything, and it got worse big time in high school. I kept on going to guidance counselor and saying I want to kill myself. I did used to be a cutter. Because of the depression and anxiety, it made it go away for a little bit. Not worth it, so don't do it. So that is all my medical problems, my health problems, and I hope that this helped people out there to know you're not alone. There's a lot of people suffering from multiple mental and health stuff. If you ever just want to talk or anything, just go ahead and email me, which is Mandy's, MANDYZ, girls, GIRLZ 101@gmail.com. Especially since now no private messages are on here. So, like I said, I hope that this helped. Comment below, whatever you want to say, and yep, I'm gonna go to bed because it's 11:06 p.m. I got work in the morning. I will see you all tomorrow for the weekend update, and have a blessed and sweet dreams, and good night. I love you all. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Okay, see you later. Bye.